So, meaning I know everything there is to know about a personal brand that is authentic and that comes straight out of you and is not some sort of coat you're wearing, but it starts here. And so a personal brand starts with self-love. It starts with self-acceptance. It starts with you seeing who you really are. With your zone of genius. So it really starts with you. So I got a question about how to deal with overwhelm in this online environment we're part of. And so I was reminded by that question this morning when um, I woke up and I got my phone, which is something that is probably a little bit stupid, but it's something I'm doing very often. So I went through my groups and through my Facebook and Instagram, and then the thing I'm doing is I check how many people liked my posts. I'm not proud of it, but it's something I'm doing, um, and it immediately triggers this sort of a survival mode, like, oh, I don't, nobody saw my post, or a lot of people saw my post, but not the people I wanted to see it, or it's like this. Um, and then when you go through your feed, it's advice, success, advice. Look what I do, I got the only way. Same for Facebook. And within 15 minutes, or sometimes even 5 minutes, it feels like you're suffocating, right? Because it feels like everyone already is at a certain level and you're not there at all. And trust me, this never changes. So, even though I might be at a different level, I might be here and you're here, or you're here and I'm here, this feeling of I'm not there yet, um, and everyone else is here and I'm here, will never go away unless you um, acknowledge the fact that you're always improving. There is never a moment somewhere in your business or in your life for that matter where you know it all, where you've got it all, where you are perfect, because you are an improving, evolving human being. And that is something you need to understand the moment you open your phone and go like, let's see, because it's a lot, right? There is so much out there. So here are a couple of tips that you need to do when you feel overwhelmed by all the advice and the gazillion books that have been written already. Um, it's to basically stop everything. Really, it's just the only way is not get more, but it's stop. Don't stop. Make yourself a cup of tea, or get a glass of water, or get nothing, and just sit like this. You can hold a hand on your heart and a hand on your stomach, for instance, and just feel, just listen. Don't push anything away. It's just a way of feeling all the tension, because you probably feel all this butterfly flutter, and not the beautiful butterfly, but the flutter in your body, and it's like your heart is pounding, and there's a heavy weight on your shoulders, and it's like, oh, there's so much going on. So acknowledge that first. So that's step number one. Acknowledge that you are slightly panicky and overwhelmed. And that's okay. It's completely normal. Everyone has that, even people who make millions or not, or are really famous. So just acknowledge it, and it's okay. And then just be really, really kind and loving to yourself. And you can do that, for instance, by look in the mirror and just look at yourself. And if you haven't done this often, it feels really weird. But saying something into the mirror like, I completely love you, or I adore you, or I see you, I acknowledge you, or even something like, I think you're awesome, or hey, looking good today. Something, because there is this constant, you're not enough, you're not enough, you're not there yet, you're on your way, maybe you're stuck, or you're ugly, or you're unsuccessful, or you're not making enough money. And that only adds to the nasty butterfly fluttering in your stomach and the weight on your shoulders and all these muscles that are tightening here. So be really, really, really loving and kind to yourself. So that's step number two. And then number three is where you can do all kinds of things, like go out for a walk, or really breathe deeply. But step number three is understanding that everyone goes through the same. And instead of pushing people away who are at a different level from you, just connect. Like, look at their post after a while, not immediately, right? Look at their post and say, hey, I get you, sister. Hey, I get you, brother. I understand what you're doing. It's really amazing. Oh, this is interesting. That I like that. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it. But then, so it's a way of shifting your perspective of what people do and look at them from not from you're there and I'm here perspective, or the other way around, but just look at them with love and kindness, the same way you looked in the mirror and looked at yourself. And um, and go look into their words and acknowledge it and say, hey, this is interesting, I like that. So it's, look at it with softness, also with research eyes, like the eyes of a researcher, like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, I like that. Oh, I'm inspired by that. Or I'm sure my clients would love to know about this. And then you just look at it, you acknowledge it, and you just let it go. Don't act upon it. Otherwise, you get the nasty butterfly flutter again. So you just look at it, and then you need to trust and rely that whatever you saw, whatever you read, is something that will find its way back to you. So this is leaning forward, leaning into having into being, well, no, to having the faith that whatever needs to come to you will come to you, and that it's something that you can use again for your own clients. So I'm not saying steal from people, but it's like, trust that whatever needs to find its way to you will find its way to you, without copy paste and get it. But it's just be prepared to be inspired by others. Okay? Um, and that is a completely different way from looking at it at from looking to at all the posts and all the successful posts in a different way, because it comes from a place of realness and of loving other people. Um, Also, that's something that you really, really need to understand is that every time you take a next step onto the ladder of your business, the world around you changes as well. The fact that you see, so imagine you're a coach um, who is very much into helping people lose weight by changing their thoughts, for instance. So you invented this special method, and now Facebook and the algorithms of social media um, place you amidst all these other people who do something similar like you. And so now you think, I'm not unique anymore, or everyone is doing what I'm doing. And it might be a reason for you to give up on your big plan. But it's the rest of the world. There are like, I don't know how many people, but there are a lot of people. And they don't see what you're seeing on your feed. This is really, really important. It's also, you see what you're focused on. I don't, if any one of you has ever been, well, either, no, it works with everything. If you decide you want to buy a new car, like you want to buy a Prius, um, but you want this special light yellow Prius. I have no idea if it exists, but just imagine it exists, and you've seen it once and you completely fall in love with it. 100% with 100% certainty, you will see that car in the coming week, months, whatever, because you're completely focused on the light yellow Prius. The same with when you're pregnant, suddenly everyone is pregnant around you. Like, wow, I thought I was unique. And then everyone is pregnant. The moment you're not, that the child is born, you see only people with childs your age. So it's, you focus on things, you focus on you see the out, whatever you focus on is there all the time, which means that if you focus on the positive things, you attract the positive things. This is just how it works. So don't fret over seeing too don't fret over seeing people doing more or less something similar as you're doing, because the rest of your audience and your clients see something completely different, because they are focused on getting on changing their problems, or on um, changing whatever is in their way. Okay, so let me see. I have no idea if there are any questions out there. And if not, if there are no questions, then ask me about this later, okay? So breathe, be kind, give yourself space, look at people who are more or less in your in the same business you're in with soft, inspired, and kind eyes, and then know that what you're seeing on your timeline or even in real life around you is the result of your own focus. Okay? And that it's a good thing. because you're focused, and that's what you need. So this is a very short Ask Esther. Um, Let me see. If there are questions, just ask them under the post and I'll get back to you. Okay, bye. Where is my, oh, here it is. Bye.